This is one thought at a time. For this episode, Good Energy, you'll notice some background noise, a door opening, a kid, and maybe some banging. We're keeping it real. My mic was a little low, but the conversation was too good for anything but its authentic self. Thanks for listening. Some partnerships are just written in the stars, and in the world of music, that's certainly the case for Good Energy, a duo whose creative minds harmonize so perfectly to create the fresh blend of vocals and melodies you can get lost in. Today we're exploring their incredible journey, their latest album, and the powerful bond that makes their music so unforgettable. Get ready for an episode full of inspiring stories and beautiful sound. So let's welcome Erica and Greg. You guys want to say a quick word before we get to know you?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, thanks for having us.
So how did you two meet and decide to form Good Energy? Was it an instant connection, or did it take some time to realize you had this creative synergy?
So we met through work years ago, and then I left, and then Erica left, and then we met at another job after that. So, since then, Erica's always been into music, so have I, and she's been the singer, I've been the beat maker, and then pianist, live band stuff. And so I forget the exact conversation, but we were talking about making songs for you, and then I had my own idea of making some kind of solo personal project. And
I think his focus was going to be like a compilation of just like music and beats, not necessarily like vocals, right? And you were like, yeah, because he was going to start putting them out online and like having people purchase stuff.
Right.
And I think it was like kind of like kismet alignment, because we've always had like we've been friends like since the day we met, basically. But like, when you meet somebody and then you go your separate ways, but whenever you see them, you're like, hey, oh my gosh. Right. So when we reconnected at the other job, we can mention it, Children's Friends and Family Services of Lynn. So we met there, and he became my work husband. And then like we would do that, and then we just got closer and closer. And then anytime I had like a gig, I'd be like, hey, do you want to like practice with me and play the keys for this gig? And he'd be like, yeah, because at that time, like your like the band that you were doing, like all these live shows, kind of like slowed down because post-pandemic, no one was really doing much.
Right.
And then I think we just started like, I was mentioning, I want to like really start working on my own music. And he was saying, me too. But it was always like something else was going on.
Right. Yeah.
Whether it was like new relationships or like my focus is health right now. My focus is this. And I think it was after making the movie, The Golden Age.
Golden Age, yep.
We were like, because we were in the studio, we were making the song for the movie, and we said, yeah, we need to do this. And we were like, how? Where do we start? What's the studio situation? We didn't know. We didn't know. But what? Yeah. Right. And then we started like digging in our bag of like connections. Like, who do we know? Yeah. Who are we? Like, what's accessible for us? And just kind of like started to like utilize that. Yeah. It took us a while.
Right.
A few years. Okay. We had this initial. Remember our initial idea? It was like a relationship album.
That's right.
And the initial idea was like this 4-song series of like when you meet somebody, when you fall in love with that person, you move in with that person, and then you break up. And because we both were experiencing like the rise and fall of a relationship. Yeah. And so we were like, let's just put that all, and then it turned into something else. Right.
Turned into something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still good though. I think what we have now with the We Are Good Energy EP, it's a great showcase of what I can do as a producer, what Erica can do as a vocalist, what we can both do as writers. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with how it turned
we
out.
surprised ourselves for sure.
Yeah.
Tell me about this movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So we do movies.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. So we worked with my guy Chance Look, head of Blatant Product Placement Productions. And short films. This was a romantic hip hop film, and it was created
slight comedy in there.
Yes,
yeah. All his films have like a little comedy.
Yeah. So, and that was created for the hip hop film festival.
Yeah, the Harlem Hip Hop Film Festival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes. And so it was actually after we went to New York, after the festival was over, we went to the after party, and then that's when we actually had that full conversation of let's do this.
Because we took we drove down together. Mm-hmm. We had already been calling ourselves Good Energy because I was like, G for Greg, E for Erica. I was like, how can I combine this? And so we already created this logo, and we were like, I don't know what we're doing with it. It's there.
It starts somewhere.
Should we need it? You know? And then we had that big talk. I think we were walking through Brooklyn.
Yes, somewhere.
It was late at night. It was after the festival. There was a burnt up car. Do you remember the random burnt up car on the side of the road? Random.
It was fun.
I was like, wow, so what should we do? You know what I mean? What's next? Because now the movie's done. We made it all the way to the Harlem Film Festival. We got lots of accolades and recognition for that.
Right.
And we were just, what's next?
Right.
You know?
So where do we see this movie? Is it possible to see it?
Oh yeah, I can send you the links for it for sure.
We can put it on the Instagram.
The movie's name is The Golden Age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that stars me as the female lead. It stars
Nixon Etienne.
As the male lead, and then Demo Woods.
Okay.
He's a local comedian. He's in there as well as the Cody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
What do you call those? Wingman.
Wingman.
Yeah. And then lots of other characters that are in there, sprinkled in there. Chantelouk always makes an appearance in all of his films, kind of like M. Night Shyamalan.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
That's me put in the movie.
Yeah. So he's in there. You know what I mean? It was such a good movie, and it was such a great experience.
Yeah.
I think it taught me personally. It taught me so much about the power of confidence and the power of friendship and how that can carry you through certain things, because I struggle a lot with my confidence and things like that, and so that really helped kind of pushed me into a different strategy. And then I was thirsty, when's our next movie?
The next thing, right?
Yeah, we start texting
the acting bug.
Oh my gosh,
bug,
yeah.
yes.
Because my mom was like, you're such an actress, you know what I mean? And in Spanish she'd be like, yes, sangara, you know, you're so dramatic. Yes. And I'd be like, you know? So now I'm like, well, look at me using the skills. Thank you very much, mommy.
That's right.
And she was really surprised too. She was like, wow, you're actually really good.
I have a question. I didn't know if you were going to ask it, but I noticed that you said that you struggle with confidence, which you obviously don't come across that.
Yes.
But obviously, speaking to you, and you're doing movies and singing and doing shows.
I'm a great masker.
Gigs, are you a masker, or are you using it? Does it help you to get the confidence? Because
it's a combination. Yeah, it's a combination. So my struggles with confidence is I have been struggled with weight my entire life, and as a child, I think a lot of people put into my mind that my nickname was Gorda growing up, and so I was like, oh, I'm the fat one. You know what I mean? I'm the fat, but I'm the funny one. I'm the fat, but I'm the cute one.
Yeah.
Everybody was, oh, you have such a cute face. You have such a pretty face. And so I think that was something that I hung on to, and then as the years have gone by, I'm like, oh, I'm more than that. You know what I mean? I'm talented. I can do things. But I think that in this industry, they really shut you down. So initially when I started music, it's a male-dominated atmosphere, and there would be times where I'd be going to the studio, and I have the money to pay for studio, and they'd be like, hey, you want to do some sexual favors in exchange for this studio time? I'm like, no, I don't. And then you're in this dark room alone with these men that think oh, we're gonna do something. So then I started bringing people with me, and then they would treat me treat me bad, because they're now you're bringing a guy with you because you know what I mean.
Little do they know it's for your own safety.
Yeah. So so I like gave up.
Think of my safety.
Oh yeah, so I gave up, and so when I met Greg, he created such a safe space to do music, and then Chanta also creating such a safe space to be creative and really find a way to express myself. And I think that having those people collectively really helped me to feel confident in that space. But in actuality, like in my day-to-day, it's a lot of like self-empowerment.
Yes.
And I go into my toolbox of like tools to use to kind of like help therapize myself to say, okay, I can do this, I can do that. And am I always nice to myself? No.
Who is?
Yeah. But I think also,
Right.
and not to shun men, but I think for women especially, we are so mean to ourselves because what society puts out there. Men, for instance, it doesn't matter if you're skinny, tall, short, whatever. You're a man, you're a man. You know, do men that feel that way feel confident all the time? Absolutely not.
Right.
But in society, no one's really shunning them. Oh, look at that fat guy. You don't really hear that.
Right.
But as soon as you see a woman that's like big or looks big, right? Because sometimes it's a lot of curves. And people will be like, oh, she's fat. And all of a sudden, because you're fat, you're not on the table of like what's good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that I've had to like really take even like my business, like as a makeup artist, like and in addition to music, is like my business is called Empowered Artistry, because I want whoever's sitting in my chair to feel better than they did when they leave, not because of the makeup, but the entire service.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of inhale, exhale, and they think it's just because I'm putting certain sprays on, but really it's for you.
Yeah. To calm.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
Well, because you're very soft-spoken.
Yes.
And you said you did most of your stuff was behind the scenes, like with the beats and the music.
Yeah.
So what helped you to now flip and be like, I'm going to be in front of the camera, I'm going to do movies, I'm going to sing, because that's opposite for you as well. So do you use...
Oh no, he's always in front of the camera. Don't... what? You've done more films than me.
I mean, yes, I have done some films. But yes, for most of my music career, it has been behind the scenes. You're right. So what happened was, I was around all these guys. Shout out to C-Look, Run, Ja, J-Dub, QS, H&L. All those guys were just like, constantly like putting on shows, writing songs, just putting them out there. And, thankfully I got to sit under the learning tree for all that. And so, one day, I'm part of the Not Sure community band and everything. And, I just decided this is cool. I want to try this. And, I did some mixtapes and everything where I made my beats and everyone else put their songs out. So, I figured, I would, start creating some R&B beats, whereas before it was mostly hip hop. And then I would try writing lyrics, and I've done that for a few hooks here and there, but writing whole songs is a whole different animal. It's a whole different muscle to flex. So thankfully, I had a monster of a writer next to me, willing to help me out with that. And then we started putting it together. Good Energy was actually the first full song that we wrote together. And then it started to trickle out.
I like forced you into the booth. I'm like, go on, put your vocals in there. And you were like, oh.
Yeah. But then, after that, it started to snowball into other songs. Songs that, honestly, like I'm actually happy to say, did not make the cut. We made so many songs that we had to cut some material because they either didn't fit or the vibe wasn't right after we heard it. But I'm actually happy to say that we wrote so many songs that we didn't get everything on the CP.
I know. And now we have like so many
to pick from. That's great.
Yeah.
So what's the meaning behind the name Good Energy? How does that phrase guide your creative process and your performances?
So, Good Energy obviously came from our initials initially, so G and E. And then I was like, well, we can't be named after electricity, although we are electric. So then we said, okay, what's good, and we've always about like good vibes. We've always spoke about positivity, and then we both, when we met again at work, it was a therapeutic field.
Yeah.
So we're really in the environment of trauma-based therapy and doing that work in the community. I was like, good energy.
Yeah.
Like we need that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So collectively, we're like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted to make music that we not only enjoy, but also, other people can dance to, but also get something out of it. Actually, the first song, Good Energy, is, about pulling yourself out of a rut. It might not sound like that off the bat, but, like once you listen to the lyrics, it's like, oh yeah, that they're saying, don't worry about it, just move your body, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what a lot of mental health professionals will say. If you're feeling in a rut, don't just sit and watch TV. Get up and take a walk. Get up and lift some weights. Take a Zumba class, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a duo that sings, raps. What led you to combine all two of those disciplines into your artistic identity?
I feel like because we've been inspired by so many different styles of music,
Yes.
we're not like very like, oh, we only do this.
Okay.
I listen to like bluegrass, like, you know what I mean? I'm very eclectic, and he has a very eclectic taste too.
Yeah.
So I feel like we wanted to make a work of art that speaks to that, but also that felt good to us.
Right.
And so it took us a little bit to like kind of figure out what's the beat, because we were like, oh, we like Afrobeats, let's do an Afrobeat song, and then we're like, wait, that might not be it.
Right.
And then, so like I said, there was a lot of things that we made that we were like, that might not it.
Yeah.
And then what Greg likes to say that I do a lot is that he will create the beat, and he has this idea of what it's gonna be, but he won't tell me, and he will give me the song. I'm just curious what you're gonna do with it, Erica. And then I come and do something completely opposite. And he's like, love that. We're doing that. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, but curiosity, what was your idea? And he's not that. Like, okay. But then when he is really passionate about something, like he's like, this is what I came up with. This is what I want. I'm like, all right, we'll do it. But then I somehow always put a little sprinkle,
Which is part of that good energy. It's part
and
of
then
that good
I'm
energy.
like, it felt better doing this, and he's like, okay. And I think like because we also had to figure out our position in our band, right? Because we're a 2-person band. And what we really wanted was to give opportunity for musicians to be able to join us and play with us.
Yeah. Right.
So big thing for us is live music. We love live music. And so we wanted to create the beats, but there's wiggle room so that when we perform live, we can hire, like outsource and give more opportunity versus having like, this is our drummer, this is our, and then having everybody struggle to commit. Less chefs in the kitchen, essentially.
Right.
And I think for us, that was really vital.
Yes,
And I also feel like one of the other conversations we had was, because initially I was like, no, I want us to sing everything together. Because, again, my confidence, right? Yeah. And he was like, no. So he went away. You remember you went on vacation.
That's right. I did
he went on vacation. And I was initiating my divorce. And so he went on vacation. I was at a studio that I usually go to, and I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna like write this song, but I didn't have any of his beats. And I was like, we'll fix it later, but like I'm just gonna use this and like figure it out. And that's when Unconditional was birthed. And that was the first time I realized that I can write, because I wrote that whole song by myself and like basically came up with the composition of it all. And then when he came home, I was like, how can we make it good energy? Yeah. And he was like, we got this. You know what I mean? So we had Sky kind of rework the beat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we developed the remix version of it, but still kept the original of the other one as well, and just kind of like tried to play with certain things to make it more of like our own. Okay. But yeah, Unconditional was birthed because like I was forced in a dark room. But I think that was great because it challenged me to really see how well I could do and if my vocal ability was able to sustain for a whole song, because that was one thing that I was really scared about. And then
when so you don't just hold your breath and sing.
Right. And then when he came home, like I was like, now I need you to make a bunch of beats.
Yeah.
And so it forced him to kind of get into that corner and like make these beats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, all right, now we have something.
Okay, so you kind of a little bit talked about the writing process.
Yeah.
Of the song, and you start with just words.
Yeah.
Or
well, no,
or
it's usually
also start with beats. Like, you know what I mean? Does it even matter or melody?
Well, I will say it depends on the song, depends on the day of the week that you ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It really does.
Right.
The amount of voice singing memos I send this man.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And then he's like,
Yes.
all right, I'm going to make a beat to that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Like sometimes for instance, hydroplane, that was an idea I had years ago. I knew what I wanted that to feel like, but I didn't have a beat for it.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden I showed Erica a beat and we decided that was the one.
Yep.
And then we just wrote to
Like
that
literally
idea.
standing up right here.
Yeah.
We wrote hydroplane.
Oh, good.
And we were like, wait, no, this.
Right.
Wait, no, this. And yeah.
Yeah. And so, sometimes we can have the idea first. Sometimes a beat will inspire us to do something. It all just depends on the day of the week, really.
Yeah.
Okay, that's understandable.
Yeah.
When you're writing, do you ever disagree on a lyric or musical direction? And how do you navigate those creative differences to reach a final product you both love?
I think there I don't think there's been one time where we were on the same page with every line for every song.
No.
But when you have a friendship, any kind of relationship, you have to sometimes take a step back and let the other person cook, as the kids say. Make sure that you give them room to show you their vision. And then sometimes you'll agree and be like, you know what? Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
And then other times it's more of a compromise, but
Yeah.
but either way, I feel like this experience, especially with Erica, has shown me that not only do I have good ideas, not only does she have good ideas, but we can cross-pollinate and make those ideas even more fruitful.
Oh, yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever, like, fought or anything. Like,
No.
even in our friendship. And, like, what will happen is, like, 9 times out of 10, we write the song, we agree on everything, and then I get in the booth and I'm like, we might need to change that.
Right.
And he's like, why? I'm like, it doesn't feel good when I'm saying it. Or, like, because of my range, right? So you have to take that into consideration too. He has a lot of a higher range than I do, as far as like being able to do a falsetto and things like that. I can do it on a good day. Sometimes what happens, I'm like, I need to stay in the pocket because that feels uncomfortable.
Right.
And then we'll take a break. We'll go back and I'll be like, okay, now I can do what you're saying to do, because I also respect the vision too.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I loved that you did that. It's not that I don't, I just can't do it today.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we'll come back to it, and then if it just doesn't happen, we're like, well, we like whatever happened.
Right.
And we're like, we're good here. Yeah. So there was like this one song that we loved when we did it.
Warm embrace.
What's it called?
Vibe tonight.
Vibe Tonight.
Yeah.
We loved it when we were just like vibing together.
Yeah.
And then we did it in the studio, and we were like, this ain't it.
Yeah.
And then we went back and we tried to rework it, and then came back to us like the final draft, and we were like, this is not it. And so we literally scrapped it from the project. I was like, I like what we did with the words, I like the beat, but this is not the song that needs to be on this album, and we might need a different location to record that particular one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What we've learned is there are certain tools that they use in the studio that we are not super impressed by. For instance, like, I'm a vocalist through and through, and so some people are not, and so they use like, tools to make you sound better. And when they do that to my voice, it does not sound better.
Yeah.
Because I have a raspy undertone, and so it eliminates that.
Yeah.
And then when they do the melodyne to even things out, it takes away the feel.
Right.
And a part of the reason why we like to sing, I do these little squeaky things, like things that I'd be like, oh, take that out. He's like, no, we love that. Or if I get like really like, it sounds like a horn. You know what I'm talking about? When they'd be like, huh, or whatever.
Yes,
You know what
yes.
I mean? So like, there's a weird thing that happens, but he'd be like, I love that. Or like other people are like, I love when you do that. I love when you like go so hard you lose your breath. And I'm like, okay. But because...
But isn't that not the point of singing?
Right. But so in this world, people are creating such crisp works of art these days where like for me I love the Jill Scotts, I love the
Yes.
Erykah Badu's,
There you go.
you know what I mean, I love the Janet Jackson, like, you know what I mean, I love the original Mariah. Gotta make sure you know which one you're talking about. I love the Whitney, like and all those were like untouched vocals. My personal like icon is Billie Holiday. They didn't have no autotune back then, so I love hearing the scratch of the vinyl. I love hearing the authenticity of her live recordings.
I have 70% of her music.
Same.
Wow.
Albums.
Yeah, I have my little record player there. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I have her tattooed on me. I am she's like because that was like a woman that wasn't afraid to just authentically be herself, and especially during a time that wasn't really appreciated.
Some of her recordings where she's swearing at everybody.
Oh yeah, she goes in.
Wait, I want it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and I love that. And a lot of the recordings back in those days are live.
Yeah,
It's just on a tape, and they just one take. That's it.
Yeah.
You got one time.
Yeah.
So I think that I love that, and so sometimes we'll be like, yeah, we like that take.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
natural.
yeah.
Natural, raspy, natural, natural.
So that's what we like in our music.
Yes, absolutely.
Because even like when he goes in and they have it already set, they limits you for where you can take things, and then when you try to do your own thing, like it sounds terrible.
Wow. Okay.
So we're like, take that off, and some studios don't like to. So we learned that.
Right.
And so, like I said, this was like a very much learning process for us.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Where do you find inspiration on your lyrics? Are they based on personal experiences, or do you find stories in the world around you?
A bit of both. For example, the song Over and Over, that was a song that we decided to dedicate to our friends and family who have been supporting us, because this is not easy. I have absolutely learned that writing songs and then putting them out there, being brave enough to put them out there, is not easy. And we've been fortunate enough, we've been blessed enough to have friends and family to support us and to just encourage us to keep going, because again, like whether it's music, painting, a podcast, putting art out there is like putting yourself out there, and like you're exposed, you know.
Erykah Badu said it best, right? This is my art, and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Exactly. Right. So,
and art is subjective.
right.
You know what I mean? Every person's gonna receive something different from what you put out there.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we wrote that song, based on how we felt about those people who are supporting us. So yeah, we are always thankful. Like, we're always thanking each other. We're always thanking our friends. And I feel like that idea is really important, because sometimes when people get their flowers, it's too late for them to smell them.
Right.
So why not give it to you now? Why not give it to you just because it's Tuesday?
Yeah,
Right.
he's really good at that too. Yeah.
You released 5 songs: Good Energy, Unconditional, Hydroplane, Over and Over, Unconditional, the remix. Is there a particular song that was especially challenging or rewarding to write?
Unconditional is my baby.
Okay.
Yeah, Unconditional, I think for me, just kind of, the song obviously was birthed because I went through like a really hard time, and felt really alone and secluded in my journey. And then it also was a song where I was writing about who was present for me versus who wasn't. And it's a song about loving yourself ultimately, and that being enough. So for me, that's my baby forever. I still sometimes can't listen to it without crying. My 4-year-old knows every word and like tone and riff, and he sings it to the top of his lungs, and he'll say, "I want mama song." I think that will forever like be my baby for sure. And then I would say as a joint song, definitely Hydroplane.
Yeah,
I love Hydroplane.
yeah. That's my personal pick. Not only because you can dance to the song. I was able to write a bridge for it, and I hadn't really messed with that before, so that was an extra challenge. I also got to infuse some Spanish in there. I have some Latino background, so I was really happy to put that in there, and I really liked it because I feel like that was a song that Erica and I collaborated on the most.
Oh yeah,
it was a back and forth for a long time.
Oh my gosh,
that.
yeah, because we were so passionate about it.
Yeah,
and like literally as we were writing it, as we were recording it, we could see the like visuals coming like into our head, like how the music video is gonna be and things like that. Like we just were just like, this is it. And even record, like I think I went in, I recorded it, and I was like, Greg, finish that. I just did that. I just ate that. Like that was the best I ever felt recording a song. Like I literally went in, I was like, it's done. You were like, done? I was like, done. Your turn.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Basically,
and he was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
And then we listened to like the pre-draft of it. Yeah. And we were like, okay, we can change a little bit.
Right.
We can add a little more. We could take away. And then I think like the last final touches, and we was like, this is it.
That was it. Yep. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I definitely agree. Like as far as like our collaborative one, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working with a creative partner can be both amazing and challenging. What's the best part about working with someone else, and what's the most difficult part?
I love working with my best friend.
Same. It's a good time.
So scheduling is not an issue. Like, you know what I mean? That's a challenge.
Always. Yeah, always. But we figured it out somehow. We made that work. But now that we have that project out of the way, like we've actually been able to say, okay, hey, on this day every other week, let's dedicate to us. And I'm like, whether that's us writing music or creating a beat or going bowling or doing something together, like that is definitely, like I always used to say, we gotta go on a friend date. Like we need a bestie date. You know what I mean? So like, I think for us, I truly enjoy working with my best friend. I like working with someone that is as mild-mannered as I am. But also someone who has like a lot of patience and tolerance for my bullshit. And like he also equally loves my son. So like I know that my son has a safe space with us if I have my son with me and stuff like that. So I think like for me, that's like the best part of our little deal here.
Yeah, I think working on any project of passion with your best friend is always going to be a good time. I will say the best and most difficult at the same time part is how much Erica pushes my creativity. Okay. I love it. It's just like, because I'm
he does it to me too. But I like it.
Yeah, like where I'm just creating things that I didn't think of before. I'm thinking of things that I wouldn't have thought of without her input. I love that part, and I think because of that, I know because of that, she's made me a better producer overall. And I have such a strong, like,
see, he's good at the flowers. He always makes me cry.
a perfectionist like type of drive when I'm creating, because it's not easy. But yeah, I'm glad.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you.
Love you too.
No, he's so good at that, you guys. I'm crying like 99% of our friendship. No, he's great, and he's a good like pusher too. Like I feel like he really does like he was so patient while I was going through all my different challenges. So much so like I didn't realize how much he was going through at the same time, and it wasn't that I didn't ask.
Right.
But it was more or less like he was like, there's a time, and like let's focus on what's going on here first. And I appreciate that, like someone holding space for you and but also creating space for you. I think like we've grown a lot in our friendship.
Yes.
He's more like a brother than anything else to me too. And like I know I could call him any time of day. Worst case scenario, you don't answer or something, but like
Right.
I could call him any time of day and I'm gonna get a response. And he always meets me with compassion and love and gratitude and like how can I not give that back? You know what I mean? Yeah.
How do you keep your creative partnership healthy and productive? Do you have any ground rules for communication or collaboration?
Nah, we be free balling.
Yeah. basically.
We just winging that.
The ground rules is that as she's good, I'm good. If I'm good, she's good.
That part.
If we're not good, then
And we
touch
always
base.
check in.
Yes, we always check in with each other.
Like, let's say, like, we schedule something. I'm like, yo, like, how are you doing today for real? Like, are you too tired for this? He'll be like, yeah, but we can still do it. And I'll be like, nah, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? Because then I'll be like, because I'm tired too. You know? But, like, we're pretty good. Like, because we know our organic rhythm and like our texts and our
Right.
temperance and our voices, so we send each other voice memos and like texts, and I'm like, something's off, you good? And I'm exhausted. And like doing the work that he does, doing the work that I do, it's easy for us to get drained. And as much as we love having that creative space,
Right.
we love it, but then we're gonna be up too late
Right, exactly.
doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, like, oh, we're gonna finish it, because then we're like, we need to finish it.
Exactly.
That's like the thing. Like we'll be like, no, and I'm like, no, we need to stop. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing. There has been times where we've like, hey, we got an hour.
Right.
What can we do in this hour? And like that's when we went to like the beach and we did like the little promo videos for hydroplane, just to have like sneak peek type thing. And we're just gonna get it done. You know, so there are times that we just get stuff done.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like we do always check in with each other to make sure, just in general, that we're good. And I think that's a huge part of the way that we create and like create a creative space, but also just a healthy space. Because at the end of the day, with or without the music, like that's my best friend, and that comes before anything else. So
How do you balance your individual strengths and personalities when you're performing together?
I think it goes back to what I was saying.
She really wants to know.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah.
wanna know.
Yeah. So
people wanna know.
what happens is when we're performing, you know, you have to read the energy of the audience, and then, you know, for me, I let Erica go, and
Let her loose.
yeah, exactly.
and then you'd be like,
Let the monster loose, and you know, if I can step in, then I'll step in. I'll do my thing, but I don't ever want it to feel like I'm stepping on her toes, or like I'm trying to steal the spotlight.
meanwhile, I'm in there like, say something. Say a ooh or an ah. I am tired. My voice. I'm sorry.
But yeah, she's yeah, it's a good back and forth, give and take. We do rehearsals, but you know, once show day comes, it's more of, again, feeling the energy of the audience, feeling the energy of each other, because we might be tired that day, you know.
We've also like had so much help too. Like for instance, like like sometimes we go to these venues and they're not really equipped for a live band, right? So like they don't have plugins for his piano, and people gotta hold microphones.
Thank you, Demo. I appreciate
Thank you so much, Demo Woods. Shout out. Literally holding microphones to the piano, so the piano has sound, so that we can do our thing. That's
But then
it's great.
Yeah, people don't remember that part because they enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
You know? So
Because you did such a great job. They're not going to look at that.
right.
Yeah, I mean, great's a loose term. It was really good. It was really great in this living room.
Right.
When the sound was great, the acoustics was awesome.
Right.
No, but we've had like some really cool like collaborations, I feel like.
Yes.
For
Absolutely.
sure, definitely. And just like even now, like the influx of people like saying, hey, I want to work with you. I want to do a project with you. I want to put you on. And I'm always telling them, like, if I'm walking into a room, you need to walk in there with me.
Absolutely.
Whether or not it's just me singing on that track, we're a duo.
Right.
So you get to have us, no, that's not what sounds good for her. Change that. You know what I mean? And same thing, like I have demo that helps to manage that too. So I'm very supportive, and I love having like powerful men that are able to do that for me, because sometimes, whether we like to admit it or not, a woman in a room can become really small when it's like, you know, men. And so I'm not small, obviously. I'm really loud, you know, like, but there are times where I can become like a little hermit. So this is like a good reminder to be like, chill out. You know who you are. I'm like, oh yeah.
What is the dynamic like in the studio? Who takes the lead in different parts of the process?
It's a combo.
Yeah, it really depends on the song.
Yeah.
And the day.
In the day.
So I guess we should say, before we even go into a studio, we've already did a pre-workup of it.
Yes.
So when we go in there, that we're not doing that like boom, 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 boom. No, that's not right. We come in fully prepared. So we're like, this is the music. These are our lyrics. This is what we're going to do. So even the engineer already has the map out of what we're doing.
Right.
But what has changed is now Greg has stepped into the engineer role.
Yeah.
So he's doing not just making the beats and producing, but he's also engineering as well. So
Yes.
yeah, the last song.
And
The
balance
recording, everything.
Well, I will give a shout out again to Chance of Look. He has been helping us out with the mixing and mastering.
Yes.
So
and then Sky.
yes, Skylar Cannon also. He did the remix of Unconditional.
And literally, I felt like I was so difficult during the remix process. But like, they kept sending it to me and going, because he knows I'm like picky, but not because it's a passion project, right? So he was like,
it's your baby.
Yeah, and I think also he's like, I know she's not gonna like that, but let me send it to her to make sure she's not gonna like that.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I don't like whatever this little ping ping thing is. Take that out. What is that? And he's like, what ping ping? I'm like, shh, this ping ping. You know, and he's like, oh, and I'm like, whatever the ding 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 ding. Take that out. I don't like that. So like, because there are sounds that I don't know, right? And like, sometimes when you're making sounds in like a keyboard, it's not as like the original, like, you know, like Latin culture, we have that fork on the cheese grinder, right? Yeah. They don't sound the same in a synthesized sound.
Right.
So I'm like, I'd rather have the cheese grater.
Right.
You know, and obviously he would too.
Right.
What's it's a cajon?
Cajon.
Yeah, I love that. I love when we use that. It doesn't sound the same in the synthesizer.
Right.
Or like when you play it on a keyboard. So that's been a learning process. And so whenever we make music, we think of, okay, what sounds good studio-wise, but then how do we translate it into live?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because it's one thing to record, and you can do whatever you want with all the noises in the world,
right.
all the auto tunes in the world. But then when you're live performing it live, it sounds extremely different.
Very different.
It's
Exactly.
not auto tuned. It's not.
Well, especially with a live band,
Yeah.
right? Not
Yes.
a pre-recorded background.
Right.
It sounds more alive.
It does, and you get a little bit more. You get a little more freedom with it too. I find that when we performed Unconditional live, it felt like bigger.
Yes. Also, that was because of Namdi. Shout out to him.
Yeah, Namdi, who is his artist name is Belish.
Yes.
Which is short for belligerent.
Right. Yeah. He was a big help.
Yeah, he plays guitar.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like amazing guitars, and he really just like listened to us vibe out, and he was like, "Cool, I got it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no, he got it."
He helped develop the live sound.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was
and
so good.
It just felt like a whole different song.
It did.
too, you know? Yeah.
It did. I think he still sings the live version
See?
all the
There
time.
you go.
So, what is next for Good Energy? Can we expect new music or something else entirely?
Yeah, so we still have the dance class. So I connected with a choreographer. So I dance, and I connected with one of the choreographers that's like my best friend. And I was like, hey, how do you feel about choreographing to hydroplane? She was like, send it, say less. And I was like, okay. So we were going to create like a visual around this choreography class, and I dance in heels. She was like, absolutely. And we were going to create this whole event around it, but everybody's gone. Everybody was like away. And I said, okay, like realistically, we want people to show up. So let's put a pin in it. Yeah. And it worked out because I feel like having the project come out first lets us focus on the project promo first.
Absolutely.
And like, even like meeting you and like getting connected with you and you wanted to, I'm like, this is perfect because I have an EP coming out.
Right.
And you were like, oh, this is great. And I'm like, yeah, so let's do that.
Yep.
And so like, I'm like, this is great timing for us. So the next thing for us is the music video.
Yes, we have music video. We have a director who's going to work with us. He's going to give us all the great ideas, and I can't wait to hear what they are. We also are writing new songs. We have some projects that Erica, again, is just in beast mode.
I wrote I don't know what happened, but I wrote like 3 songs.
Yeah, unbelievable. Like I can't wait.
He sent me like 6 beats, and I was just like, so I was like, this like. We made like this pact like for September 1st. It's like time to start fresh. And I was like, I'm going to write a song a week. And then I wrote 3. And he was like, what is going on? I was like, I think it might be my energy juice.
Right, yeah, for real.
But yeah, so there are songs.
Yes, there are songs.
Being made.
There are songs. There are new projects on the way.
Yeah.
New projects that we've only talked about. We haven't solidified anything yet, but
lots of ideas, and I think we're gonna make a bigger project this time around.
Yeah.
Or 2 small ones. We're still figuring that out.
Everyone will figure it out once we figure it out.
Yeah, we figure it out.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, but so what's really next is definitely the music video. There's gonna be a director. He's gonna have his first directorial debut, which is amazing. A videographer that is really passionate about cinematography that's gonna be working with us as well. And she'll also have her music video cinematography debut. So lots of like fresh outlooks on everything, and I love that. And then of course us in the video because
we are good energy.
Yeah, we are.
What's one thought you'd like to leave our listeners with from Good Energy to my audience, one thought at a time?
Need some time?
I mean, I got mine. You got yours?
Not yet. Go ahead. Not yet.
You know what's gonna happen here? He's going to piggyback.
I might.
Okay, but I've been lifting weights, so
see
what I'm saying?
Come on,
I got you.
You got it.
What I would say is it's never too late, and no dream has an expiration date. So when people tell you, "Oh, you're too old," or "You're too this," or "You're too that," don't listen to them. If you, someone told me, if you don't have haters, then you're not doing it right. So I'm learning. So I'm learning that it's all part of this business. It's all part of this game, and you have to take the highs with the lows. Yeah. And sometimes you got to take the lows even more, so that way you can transition them into a high. So for me, it's fuel for good energy.
So it's my turn?
It's your turn now.
Okay, so I will say that we're only human, and there's going to be times where fear talks to us. The thing I would say to your audience and to anyone is that if you have something that you are passionate about, it's going to be tough to not hear that fear. But I would say don't let fear in the driver's seat. You know, because again, I've had this idea for years, and we've only been working on this for a few years, shorter years. So I feel like had I said something earlier, good energy might not be what it is today.
Absolutely.
It might not be good energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might have been too soon.
It might have been something else entirely. So, so while fear is real, don't let it drive you, because great things can happen on the other side of fear once you decide to let go and try something. And that's it.
Okay.
Nathan said, wrap it up.
Right.
And with that, we're wrapping up today's episode. A massive thank you to our guest, the wonderful Good Energy, for such an engaging discussion. We couldn't have done it without the brilliant Cindy working her magic behind the scenes, so a huge thanks to her as well. To learn more about Good Energy's projects, head over to their page on Instagram at We Are Good Energy, all one word. You can also check out everything we discussed today and check out the behind-the-scenes pics and videos on Instagram at One Thought at a Time 2025. Again, it's One Thought at a Time 2025, and the same on Facebook. Catch you next time.